produced during a given period in a country without any duplication. That is called national income. So, coming to the introduction, India is a fast dashing towards its dream of conversion into a developed country by 2050. In the book, they gave you 2020, but I think so 2020 already completed. So, I am expecting that India will be a developed country at least by 2050. Okay, our India's population is still engaged in primary sector. So a remarkable change has been noticed in India so far. That is, India not only a primarily agricultural country, Nana, now it is also developing secondary and tertiary sectors also. So in the previous class, we learned about the occupational distribution in India. In that, you learned about the primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector or service sector. So you have to know all these three sectors. Then only you can understand easily what is national income. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the contribution of different sectors to GDP, gross domestic product. So do you know what is gross domestic product? GDP, we used to say, Nana. So gross domestic product
Gross
refers to
domestic
the
product.
market value of all final goods and services produced within a country in a given period of time. Okay, so gross means total. Gross means total. Domestic means within the country. Within the country, domestically within the country. Products means the goods and services. So what total goods and services produced within a country. So GDP can be referred to the market value. So we are taking the market value. Okay, market value. So market value of all final goods and services produced within a country. That is called domestic. Okay, within a country in a given period of time. So for everything, time is very important. So gross domestic products also takes into consideration the value of all the final goods and services produced in a country during a period of time only, particularly 1 year. Okay, 1 year. So within that year, whatever the goods and services produced in a country will be given a market value. So taking into consideration the market value and that to final goods only. In economics, we have basic goods, intermediary goods and final goods. So we are not taking into consideration the basic or intermediary goods. We are taking into consideration only the final goods. So the goods which can be used, consumed directly. So those are called as final goods. So we are taking into consideration the final goods only in calculating national income. So the market value of all the final goods and services produced in a country during a year is called GDP. Okay. And here you should know what is the national income. National income is one of the indicator of economic development. So the government of India has appointed a National Income Committee on 4th August 1949. This committee consists of 3 members. Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis. His birthday only celebrated as the Statistics Day in our country. Okay, Professor D.R. Gadgil and Professor V.K.R.V. Rao. So these 3 are the members of the National Income Committee, which was came into or the government has appointed, okay, on 4th August 1949. So there are 3 members in Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, Professor D.R. Gadgil, and Professor V.K.R.V. Rao. So this committee has submitted its final report in 1954. So what are the salient features of this National Income Committee report? Now we can know that. First one is that during 1950-51, agriculture and allied activities contributed nearly half of the national income. So during 1950-51, agriculture and allied activities. So allied activities means animal husbandry, poultry, fishing comes under allied activities of agriculture. Nana. So all these agriculture and allied activities contributed nearly half of the national income. And second point, that is mining, manufacturing and trading contributed about 1/6 of the national income. So mining, manufacturing and trading contributed about 1/6 of the national income. Next, third one is commerce, transport and communications accounted for a little more than 1/6 of the total national income. Commerce. Okay. Commerce means nothing but the business, okay? Transport and communication contributed a little more than 1/6 of the total national income. So that is the thing the committee has explained, Nana. Next, fourth point is services accounted for about 1/3 of the total national income. So service sector service sector has service sector accounted for 1/3 of the total national income. And fifth one is the share of government sector in net domestic product was 7% in 1950-51. So share of government sector in net domestic product. So in the first year, you might have learned in the national income calculations, that is GNP, NNP. Gopal sir, will you share the PPT?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, show the video, ma'am.
The share of the government sector in national net domestic product was 7.6% in 1950-51. So here, in first year, you learn about the concepts of national income. In that, GNP, NNP, GDP, per capita income, disposable per capita income, like that concepts you have learned. Okay, so here this committee has told that the share of government sector in net domestic product was 7.6% in 1950 to 51. So these are the features, silent features of the National Income Committee report in 1954. Okay. Gopal sir. Gopal sir.
మేడం నా దాంట్లో షేర్ అవ్వలేదు మేడం, ఏదో టెక్నికల్ ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది.
అవునా సార్, ఓకే.
మీరు ట్రై చేయండి మేడం, క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుంది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా.
Are you able to see? Okay. Okay. So National Income Committee report is like that, Nana. Then coming to GDP, so gross domestic product refers to the market value of all final goods and services produced within a country in a given period of time. Yes, you have to learn this GDP. Next, GDP per capita is often considered an indicator of a okay, indicator of a country's standard of living. At the end of 2021 it is, okay, GDP on constant prices would be about the same as $146 trillion. That is in Indian currency 146 lakh crores as in 2019-20. So in 2021 also same 146 lakh crores of rupees. Okay. That is a GDP per capita. GDP per capita. So why we are discussing this means, you know that India is the second largest country in the population. So 1.28 million population is there in India, Nana. And at the same time, the area of India, if you take 3,287,266 kilometers of area is there, and GDP, if you observe, nearly 1.824 trillion dollars. Okay, and GDP per capita $1,491. So like this, Indian economy is also somewhat a developing economy only. So we can guess that in coming future, India also will become a developed country. Okay. So now coming to the today's very important topic, that is trends in distribution of national income. So a very important aspect of the national income of a country is a sectoral distribution made by the different sectors of the economy. So very important aspect of national income. What is that? It is the sectoral contribution made by the different sectors of the economy. So in the previous class, we learned that there are three sectors in the economy. One is the primary sector, second one is the secondary sector, third one is the tertiary sector. So all these three sectors, what they are contributing to the national income is very important aspect. Okay. So if the contribution from agriculture sector is high, generally a country is said to be underdeveloped. So that is the case of India. Why? Because in India also the share of agriculture sector to GDP is very high. So generally we can say that India is a underdeveloped or developing. For our satisfaction, we are saying it's a developing country. Okay. Next, we'll see sector contribution to GDP in India. Nana. First sector is the primary sector, that is agriculture. So, agriculture and allied activities percentage distribution in 1950-51 is only 55.4, and in 2020-21 it is only 20.19%. Okay, so the contribution of agriculture sector to GDP has declined from 1950-51 to 2020-21. That means we are not getting that much of income from agriculture and allied activities in India. So that is a condition. So the farmers are not getting much income. Like that only the agriculture sector, allied activities, that is animal husbandry, forestry, mining, all these sector, poultry, all these are also not getting so much of income. So the share of agriculture and allied activities to GDP in India is reduced. Okay, declining. And you know that during the post-independence period, the share of the primary sector in GDP, it is maximum of 55.4% in 1950-51. Why it is much? Because the rapid fall in the share of agriculture sector. See, it is the rapid fall in the share of agriculture. In recent years, the country's economy has undergone some structural changes. Some structural changes. Still, the agriculture sector remains an important sector of Indian economy in terms of share in country's GDP. Even though there is decline in the share of agriculture GDP in recent years. Why it is like that means there are some structural changes. Structural changes means the economy is moving towards industries and services. Structural change happening in the country. Even then, the agriculture sector is the main important sector. It is providing more nearly 30% of the income to GDP in our country. Next, secondary sector, contribution of secondary sector to GDP. So secondary sector is nothing but this manufacturing and constructions. Manufacturing, constructions comes under secondary sector. Okay, the share of industries which includes mining, quarrying, manufacturing, construction, electricity, gas and water supply has shown a steady growth from 15% in 1950-51 to 26.2 in 2013-14. There is an increase, but a little bit declining. In 2020-21, it is 25.92%. That is the contribution of secondary sector to GDP in India. And here, which sectors are giving more contribution in the secondary sector itself? If you take the two major components of industry are manufacturing and construction. Even though there is mining, quarrying, manufacturing, construction, electricity, gas and water supply, which comes under secondary sector, but the very two important major components of industry or manufacturing and construction. So from manufacturing and construction only, some amount, some income is contributed to the gross domestic product in India. This is the share of second sector GDP. So there are so many types of industries in India. You know that in the lower classes, in the 9th class social, you have learned about the various types of industries. So we have agro-based industries, mineral-based industries. Okay. So like that, there are so many industries in India. So here you can observe some pictures of industries in India. So we have atomic energy industries are there, petroleum reserves, okay, petroleum products industries are there, oil, the manufacturing industries there, steel, iron and steel industries, and food processing industries are there, shipping industries, and at the same time the medical equipments manufacturing industries also will be. So there are so many types of industries in India. So in second 5-year plan only, when Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India, he has given importance for the industrial sector. So when you are learning the planning lesson in the second year, you can understand that in the first 5-year plan has given much priority for agriculture, whereas the second 5-year plan has given much importance for large and heavy industries. So in that time only in India, we set up most of the iron and steel industries in India. So many industries came into existence or came into activation or establishment during second 5-year plan only. Okay, that is some 1956 to 61, 62, like that only this most of the industries were established in India. So from then onwards, the share of industrial sector to GDP has somewhat increased. Okay, so that is industries in India. Then coming, yes. Tell
Gross
me next.
product in coming చెప్పండి మేడం.
Gross domestic product.
Yes ma'am.
What do you want? The definition you want?
Yes ma'am.
Okay, Nana. So gross domestic product. See, this is the definition, okay? Gross domestic product refers to the market value of all final goods and services produced within a country in a given period of time. Given period of time. To grow at 12.5% plan. This is an estimate by IMF, International Monetary Fund. So India may be having much growth rate during 2021. It is a predicted one. So they are guessing. Indian International Monetary Fund has guessed that Indian economy may grow by 11.5%. But all the time we are in 7 or 8% like that only growth rate in GDP. Okay. So is it clear, Amma?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Then. Next one is the contribution of service sector to GDP. Nana. So service sector already we discussed here. I kept some pictures of service sectors, education, health, okay, banking, insurance, trade, commerce, communication. All these will come under service sector in India. Okay, services only. Transportation also. Transportation including railways, roadways, waterways and airways. So all the 4 means of transportation, and not only that, fire control, public security, forestry, somewhat. Okay. Nowadays, enterprise management also comes under the service sector only. So service share of tertiary sector or service sector, that is trade, transport, financing, insurance, real estate, banking, business services, etc., indicated a sharp improvement from 29.6% in 1950-51 to about 59.9% in 2013-14. But in 2020-21, it has declined to 53.89%. Even then, nearly 54% of income share is coming from service sector only to GDP. This is during 2021. Why? Because of Corona. Okay, due to Corona pandemic, this share of agriculture, industry, services has somewhat got down. Okay. So decline, we can see a little bit decline in the share of these sectors to GDP in our country. Okay, so this is the share of tertiary sector or service sector. So now we're giving more importance for services only. Almost all the people are getting educated. Only few people are depending on agriculture, and some people are working in industrial sector, construction, manufacturing, and all that. But most of the Indian population, 50%, they are depending on service sector only nowadays. So you know the difference that primary and secondary sectors will produce goods, whereas service sector will provide services only. That you should know. Okay, the major difference between primary, secondary, and tertiary. So by observing this, one more thing you can understand what are the changes in sectoral contribution revealing. So in the above three, we learned the contribution of primary sector to GDP, contribution of the secondary sector to GDP, and contribution of tertiary sector to GDP, like that. But here there are some changes we are observing with the above discussion. So what are those changes we are able to note or identify? So firstly, in India, agriculture still remains an important activity. So agriculture is still remaining an important activity in India. Most of the people are depending on agriculture still. And any fluctuation means change in it have serious repercussions whole of the economy. So if you deviate from agriculture, there will be some serious results on the whole of the economy. Why? Because there will be no one to produce the agricultural products, but the population is increasing, whereas the agriculture production or agriculture productivity or the share of agriculture in GDP, the income from agriculture is declining. So it will have a very great impact on the whole of the economy. So to give prominence for agriculture, as the Indian population is growing further and further, we have to provide food for all, food security. Food should be provided to all the people, so we cannot neglect agriculture sector. Agriculture is very important. Very important. Next, secondly, not only the country has gradually moved towards industrialization, but the industrial sector also has undergone a structural change. So second one, that even though we are moving towards industrialization, so industrialization is nothing but establishing industries, starting new industries, developing industries. But the industrial sector also has undergone a structural change. So at the beginning, we have agro-based industries. So now these agro-based industries are not given much importance, as the agro-based industries are getting raw material from the agriculture itself. So nowadays agriculture is reduced. Okay, the income from agriculture and the people who are doing agriculture is declining day by day. So we are not able to get the raw material for the agro-based industry. So we are moving towards mineral-based industries or shipbuilding industry or some other manufacturing industries we are moving. So that is the structural change in the industrial sector. And coming to the third one, the rapid growth of transport, communication, energy, banking, insurance. The secondary sector reflects the expansion of economic infrastructure in the country. So there is a social infrastructure and economic infrastructure. Social infrastructure is nothing but schools and hospitals. There is health and education. And economic infrastructure means this transport, communication, energy, banking, insurance, all these are nowadays playing a very important role. Okay, transport has increased. So most of the population is increasing. So for those increasing population, more transport will be provided. So we have both public and private transports and different transportations also we have. Okay, communication. Coming to the communication. So almost all the people in India are having one or the other type of mobile phones, cell phones. So communication is also very rapidly going. See, in WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, like that, we are sending immediately the matter or information throughout the country or throughout the world also very easily. Within some seconds of time, the communication will be done. So the communication also rapidly increasing. Nowadays, we are sending messages and everything in the school also see all the time they are sending some email to school, send the particular children, send the child info or midday meals, attendance of the children, students, how much money you are getting for the running of girls hostels, all these for everything immediately we are also sending them through emails only. So within seconds we are communicating. So officials are communicating us very easily, and at the same time we also communicate to the others very easily. So there is a very good access of communication in India. And energy. So as the people are increasing, the energy requirements also increasing. Energy means here not the food taking energy, Nana. It is the power. Okay, power, not political power. It is a power, electricity. So there are different sources of producing electricity. So thermal, hydel, wind energy, solar energy. Like this, we are, and at the same time, what to say that nuclear energy power generation. So in 10th class, you learned about Kudankulam nuclear power project. So like that, by using the energy that is what to say nuclear energy, also we are producing some electricity for the increasing population, the demand of increasing population. So energy is increasing. Banking. So PM has instructed each and every one should have a account in the bank. So everything will be transferred to their accounts. No middlemen. So students will get their what to say that. Scholarships into their account, and mother is getting Amma Odi directly into her account. Prime ministers, that is all national and state level welfare schemes, everything will be shared. So Atva getting some 10,000 rupees. The women about 35 are getting some 18,500 rupees. Old age people are getting old age pensions. Unemployment people are getting unemployment dole. Everything will be directly, the amount will be sent to the accounts itself. So banking is playing very important role nowadays. So each and every one will have a account in the banking. Okay, banks. Next, insurance. So we have fear of the death, accidents, everything, fire accidents or electrical accidents or whatever, short circuit accidents, whatever it may be, Nana. So insurance also very important role playing. Okay. So all these will result in the expansion of economic infrastructure in the country. So like this, the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors are playing very, very important roles in the GDP, okay, gross domestic product. So we should know that Indian economy is passing through the process of transition from an agriculture economy to an industrialized one. So basically, India is an agricultural economy. But nowadays, Indian economy is transition itself. It is transforming from an agriculture economy to an industrialized one. So now in Punganur also they are going to start some energy industry like that. So there are many industries, automobile industries, okay, cell phone manufacturing, mobile phone manufacturing industries. Now we are getting one more thing that the electricity run bikes are there, so that manufacturing units are coming. So like this, many industries are coming in our economy. So the Indian economy is transforming from an agricultural economy to an industrial one. Okay, so the theory of economic growth also supports the theory of economic growth also supports the structural change in the composition of national product, Nana. So the distribution of gross domestic product in developed countries indicates a much higher share of industry and services and a relatively lower share from agriculture. Agriculture. So Indian economy, okay. So the theory of economic growth also supports the structural composition of national product, Nana. So the economy is transforming towards the developed or economic growth. And the disparity in per capita incomes between the developed and underdeveloped countries is largely a reflection of the disparity in the structure of their economies. So the economy's structure is depending on the per capita income. But here there is a much differences between per capita income of developing countries and countries. So it is having a reflection of the disparity in the structure of the economies of developed and developing countries or undeveloped countries like India. So this is the contribution of different sectors to the GDP, the gross domestic product. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Chakaleen. Ma'am, say one more time.
Which one you want to tell me one more time, Nana? All the things?
Explain all topics, madam.
Okay. So India is fast moving towards its dream of conversion into a developed country by 2015. Anna. So
This
our
one, ma'am.
Indian population is still engaged in primary sector.
Ma'am, this one, ma'am.
Huh?
This only, ma'am.
This only. Okay, India is fast dashing towards its dream. That means India is moving very fastly towards converting itself into a developed country by 2050. As our population is increasing, still it is engaged in primary sector. You have to get changed. So in the last class, I told you, if you reduce the percentage of people depending on agriculture from 85% to 15%, then automatically the country will become a developed one. So in India, also reduce dependency on agriculture and dependency on industry and service sector we have to increase, then only will become a developed country, Nana. But it is somewhat in USA, UK, Germany, like that economies, okay, industrially they are developed. But whereas Israel is also a agricultural based country only, based economy. But Israel also developed. Why? Because agriculture, they are introducing the capital intensive technology. So in economics, we know labor intensive and capital intensive. Labor intensive means using more labor for every activity. Whereas capital intensive means you have to use more machinery for doing the agriculture work. So if you mechanize the agriculture sector, India also will become a developed country only. Okay. So GDP, very important 2 mark question for you. Gross domestic product. So being economic students, you should know what is GDP, NMP, all these you should know. So gross domestic product refers to the market value that you should note, Nana. Market value of all final goods and services produced within a country in a given period of time. That is called domestic product. So gross domestic product per capita is often considered an indicator of country's standard of living. Per capita means you know the income per head. So GDP per capita is also a very good indicator of a country's standard of living. So what is the standard of people? Whether they are rich, middle class or poor, that we can know by GDP per capita. Okay, so at the end of 2020-21, by miss, I made it 21-22. It is 2021. GDP on constant prices would be about the same as in 2019-20. So there is no increase in the GDP per capita. It is still remaining $146 trillion. If you say in Indian currency, it is 146 lakh crore rupees. So this is GDP, money. So Indian rupee, Indian economy is increasing. So 1951-52 to 2020-21, if you see, the GDP in India is increasing, Nana. As you know that India is having a huge population, huge area, so the GDP also has to increase. Okay. So trends of distribution of national income. It is a very important aspect of national income of a country is a sectoral contribution made by different sectors of the economy. Contribution from agriculture sector is high. Generally, a country is said to be underdeveloped. So this is one of the definitions some economists have given. If any country is getting more contribution to GDP from agriculture sector, it is a underdeveloped country only, like that. Agriculture allied activities GDP share in 1950-51 is 55.4%, whereas in 2021 it is only 20.19%, Nana. And if you come to the secondary sector, in 1950-51 it is only 15%. In 2013-14 it is 26.2%. Whereas in 2020-21, it is 25.92%. So the major components of industry are manufacturing and construction. So development in industry you can find in the manufacturing and construction sector, okay, activities. And service sector, if you observe, that sector includes trade, transport, financing, insurance, real estate, banking, business services, etc. There is a sharp increment or improvement from 29.6% in 1950-51 to about 59.9% in 2013-14. Because of COVID pandemic, it has declined to 53.89% in 2020-21. That is a contribution of service sector. So still Indian economy is depending on agriculture only, Nana. So there must be some change in agriculture. So agriculture also to be mechanized. So instead of doing traditional methods of cultivation, if you go for capital intensive or mechanization of agriculture, definitely Indian economy also will become a developed economy only. So we hope so by 2050 at least the country may be developed. It will be very happy to or that one, okay, like that. Now there is some change, transformation of Indian economy from agriculture to industrialized one, and at the same time service oriented also. So mainly service sector nowadays IT, Nana, information technology. So most of people are working in software industry, software jobs. So IT is playing very important role. Information technologies. Information technology also comes under service sector only. So there is a great contribution of this IT in India. Okay. So Indian economy, even though it is slowly taking place, structural changes in India, but there should be some reason for this slow rate of structural change. That is nothing but the domestic output is very rate of growth of the manufacturing output. So in India, the output which we are producing, the rate of growth is very low. That is why it is very slow and low. So because of that only, Indian economy also, the structural changes are very slowly happening in India. So that is most of the population is young youth. If you are skilled, efficient, automatically the India's economy will grow. Okay. So yesterday, Madam has told you that the education is very important in the economic development. So you have to listen carefully in the class, learn the concepts. Okay. Then get good jobs and income. Automatically, the income from the service sector or industrial sector will increase. So the economy also will develop. So India will become a developed country by 2050. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Bye, ma'am.
Okay. Don't have any doubts. Okay.
Bye, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye,
Thank you,
madam.
ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye, madam.
Anna, thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye, madam.
Bye, Nana. Bye.
Thanks, ma'am.
Okay, Nana.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Mohan sir. Mohan sir. ఏ అనుకుంటా చిల్డ్రన్ యూ సెండ్ మీ ది అటెండెన్స్ మా ఎవరెవరు అటెండ్ అయ్యారో వాట్సాప్ లో పెట్టు ఓకే మోహన్ రెడ్డి సార్ మోహన్ రెడ్డి సార్